Hey everybody, welcome back to Unknown Facts. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. It really helps the algorithm, and frankly, the algorithm has been kicking our asses lately. Look, the world of sports, right? We love it. It's supposed to be all about fair play, pushing limits, and inspiring millions. But sometimes, just sometimes, it turns into a scene straight out of a Coen Brothers movie, full of ambition, intrigue, and some truly baffling decisions. Today, we're diving deep into the murky waters of athletic scandals as we uncover the top 10 athletes who got caught cheating. Buckle up, folks, because some of these stories might just leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about sportsmanship. Lance Armstrong, once the golden boy of cycling, the cancer survivor who climbed his way to the top of the podium 7 times at the Tour de France. Inspiring, right? Well, hold on to your handlebars, folks, because this story takes a sharp turn. Armstrong's rise was fueled by more than just grit and determination. He led a sophisticated doping operation using EPO, blood transfusions, and performance-enhancing drugs. For years, allegations, attacking those who questioned his integrity. In 2012, after investigations, Armstrong was stripped of his titles and banned for life. A spectacular fall from grace, proving even untouchable athletes can. The 1988 Seoul Olympics, a moment etched in sporting history. The men's 100-meter final, the race to determine the fastest man on Earth. All eyes were on Canada's Ben Johnson, poised to take the gold. And take the gold he did, shattering the world record. The crowd roared, the Canadian flag waved proudly, but that moment was painfully short-lived. 3 days later, Johnson tested positive for stanozolol. The world gasped, medals were redistributed, and Johnson became the poster boy for athletic disgrace. The scandal rocked the sporting world, exposing the dark underbelly of performance enhancement. Johnson's fall was a stark reminder that the pursuit of victory is never worth sacrificing integrity. Maria Sharapova, the tennis star with a fierce forehand and a lucrative line of candy endorsements, seemed to have it all: talent, fame, and enough sugar to keep Willy Wonka in business for a decade. But in 2016, her pristine image took a hit. Sharapova tested positive for meldonium, a substance she claimed to have been taking for medical reasons. The problem? Meldonium had recently been added to the list of banned substances, and Sharapova hadn't exactly shouted it from the rooftops that she was using it. A lengthy suspension followed, leaving Sharapova sidelined and facing some tough questions. She appealed the decision, arguing that she hadn't intended to cheat, but the damage was done. The Sugarpova empire took a hit, and Sharapova learned the hard way that even unintentional doping can have serious consequences. You'd think someone with her resources would have a team dedicated to, reading the list of banned substances. Diego Maradona, the Argentine football legend, was a man of undeniable talent and equally undeniable controversy. He could weave through defenders like a caffeinated hummingbird, score goals that defied logic, and apparently fail a drug test with the grace of a seasoned professional. During the 1994 World Cup, Maradona's fairy tale run came to an abrupt end when he tested positive for ephedrine. The news sent shockwaves through the tournament, and Maradona's claims of innocence were met with skepticism and a healthy dose of, "Come on, mate." The suspension that followed marked a sad end to a brilliant, albeit tumultuous career. Maradona's legacy, much like his performance on the pitch, remained a mix of brilliance and bewilderment. It's tempting to wonder if the hand of God, which famously propelled Argentina to victory in 1986, might have been dipping into the performance-enhancing cookie jar as well. We'll never know for sure, but it's a question that continues to haunt football fans and conspiracy theorists alike. Barry Bonds, the slugger with the most intimidating batting stance in baseball history, was a force to be reckoned with. He could hit a baseball farther than anyone else, breaking records and striking fear into the hearts of pitchers everywhere. But Bonds' incredible power came with a giant steroid-shaped asterisk. Allegations of performance-enhancing drug use dogged him throughout his career, casting a long shadow over his accomplishments. Despite his denials and legal battles, the evidence against Bonds was pretty damning. Testimonies, Balco lab results, and even a head that seemed to be growing at an alarming rate all pointed to PED use. Bonds may hold the record for most home runs, but his legacy remains tainted by the specter of cheating. It's a shame, really. He was so good, He probably could have hit all those home runs without the extra help. But alas, some people just can't resist the allure of a shortcut. Marion Jones, the American sprinter, was once the darling of track and field. With her dazzling smile and lightning speed, she captured the hearts of fans worldwide, winning 3 gold medals at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. But Jones's Golden Girl image was about to be tarnished by a scandal of marathon proportions. In 2007, after years of denials, she admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs throughout her career. The confession sent shockwaves through the sporting world, and Jones was stripped of her medals, leaving a void in the record books and a whole lot of disappointed fans. It was a classic case of ambition gone wrong, a reminder that the pressure to succeed can sometimes lead even the most talented athletes down a dark path. And honestly, the mental gymnastics required to keep up that lie for so long, that takes a special kind of skill set. Alex Rodriguez, or A-Rod as he's known in the baseball universe, was a phenomenal talent. He could hit, field, and command a salary that would make your head spin. But even with all that natural ability, A-Rod couldn't resist the siren song of performance enhancement. In 2013, A-Rod found himself at the center of the Biogenesis scandal, a Miami clinic that sounded like a spa for aging superheroes, but was actually a front for a massive doping operation. Rodriguez was accused of receiving banned substances, and despite his initial denials, because of course, he was eventually suspended for the entire 2014 season. It was a major blow to A-Rod's career and reputation. He returned to baseball in 2015, but the scandal cast a long shadow over his remaining years in the game. It's almost like trying to cheat the system is as natural to some people as breathing. Tonya Harding, the figure skater with the fierce determination and the questionable entourage, was never exactly known for her grace off the ice. But in 1994, she took things to a whole new level of bizarre. Harding's rival, Nancy Kerrigan, was attacked at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, an incident that shocked the nation and sent the media into a frenzy. It turned out that Harding's ex-husband and her bodyguard had hired someone to club Kerrigan in the knee, a plan that was about as subtle as a triple axel to the face. Harding denied any involvement in the attack, but her subsequent guilty plea to hindering the prosecution told a different story. She was banned from figure skating for life, and her name became synonymous with one of the most infamous scandals in sports history. The whole thing was a mess, a bizarre mix of athletic ambition, personal vendettas, and some truly terrible decision-making. Honestly, it's the kind of story that would make you swear off figure skating forever if it weren't so incredibly captivating. The Boston Marathon, a grueling test of endurance, willpower, and the ability to consume unfathomable amounts of carbohydrates. In 1980, Rosie Ruiz crossed the finish line first in the women's division, seemingly achieving the impossible. There was just one small problem. Ruiz hadn't actually run the entire race. She'd hopped onto the course somewhere near the end, bypassing the whole 26.2 miles of excruciating pain thing. Ruiz's deception was quickly uncovered, and she was stripped of her title, becoming a symbol of athletic fraudulence. The incident raised questions about security, the allure of shortcuts, and the lengths some people will go to for a moment of unearned glory. It's almost impressive in a way. To cheat in a marathon, you have to be both incredibly lazy and incredibly ballsy. It's a delicate balance, and Ruiz, unfortunately, managed to achieve it. Floyd Landis, the American cyclist, seemed poised for greatness in 2006 when he won the Tour de France. He'd battled back from a career-threatening injury, showing incredible resilience and determination. But Landis's victory lap was cut short when he tested positive for synthetic testosterone. He vehemently denied the charges, embarking on a lengthy and expensive legal battle to clear his name. However, the evidence against him was pretty damning, and Landis's reputation went from hero to zero faster than you can say performance-enhancing drugs. He was stripped of his Tour de France title, and his career went into a tailspin. Landis eventually admitted to doping, but by then, the damage was done. He became another cautionary tale in the world of cycling, a reminder that even the most grueling races can be tainted by the pursuit of an unfair advantage. So there you have it, folks, a whirlwind tour of some of the most infamous cheating scandals in sports history. It's enough to make you wonder if anyone's playing by the rules these days. But look, For every athlete who chooses the low road, there are countless others who dedicate their lives to fair play and pushing the limits of human potential. And those are the stories we should be celebrating, the ones that remind us of the true spirit of competition. So, the next time you're watching your favorite sport, remember that behind every victory there's a story. And sometimes that story is a lot more complicated and a lot less inspiring than it seems.